Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel to another video. In today's video, I just want to go over some basic tips for fitness success to achieve whatever physical fitness endeavor you're trying to do in the new year. So let's get right into it. So I compiled a basic guideline of ideas, but some to just start off, one of the biggest ones is to just try to stay moving. Now I have a step count on there, but one thing that I urge more that I more so recommend is trying to find a baseline towards where you are currently at. So let's say you average maybe 2,500, 3,000 steps a day, and you maintain that for several weeks. What you could even try and do is maybe add 500 steps to that, maintain that for about 2 weeks, and then gradually ramp up. Finding that entry point and building up is going to be one of the best ways that we maintain consistency and to reduce our likelihood of injury. Finding activities that you enjoy. This is going to be, again, one of the best ways to maintain consistency. Um, Go out and find something that you enjoy to do, because that's going to help drive some of that motivation to, being more physically fit. Protein-rich foods and fiber. Now, I am not a nutritionist, but this is a general recommendation. Protein and fiber are some of the more satiating things that you can ingest or that you can try and eat. So incorporating more protein-rich foods and that fiber is going to be a good way to stay more satiated and, get to be more on track with better eating habits. The next one is remembering why you started in the first place. Now, this sounds kind of corny, but remembering why you got into something is going to be one of the biggest reasons behind your goal, right? Because it's going to be, I mean, we're all human. It's going to be very easy to fall off track, as with pretty much everything, right? It's very easy to fall off track with this stuff. So having at least one bare minimum reason beyond everything else as to why you get into something is going to be one of the best ways to maintain whatever you're trying to achieve. Now, it's typically recommended by the American Heart Association and the World Health Organization to get about 2.5 hours of moderate intensity activity a day. These are great recommendations. So what I'm going to have, what I have written down in the next slide is just some general guidelines, or not guidelines, but general tips to trying to achieve this goal or higher, or whatever you're trying to do. So some tips to achieve this: incorporating more walking into your regimen. Now, this is a great place to start. And with everything in fitness, this is typically easier said than done. A lot of times we may not have access to walking on the sidewalk or anything like that. But one way that we can try and incorporate this is, let's say you're going to the grocery store, you park further away in the parking lot. Incorporating more steps during your day is going to be a great way to improve your cardiorespiratory fitness. Obviously, there's different levels to wherever somebody lies, like there's different entry points. But incorporating more walking most of the time is going to be beneficial. Trying different activities. So if you have an activity that you generally enjoy, it is phenomenal. That's going to be one of the best ways we maintain consistency. But it's also beneficial to try out different activities that require different movement patterns. Our bodies are great at learning how it moves by itself. So trying to incorporate different movement patterns is going to be very beneficial for that. Next one is, nobody has the same 24 hours in the day. Um, I'm just gonna leave that one up for just leave that one up there, because most of the time, nobody has the same 24 hours. So remembering why you started something and to incorporate an important reason to start is gonna be one of the best ways to do this. So let's say, actually, I'm just gonna go on to the next bullet point here, and then I'll go into my example. So one of my favorite things to do, and that other people can try out, is giving yourself a high ceiling goal, something that's either just beyond reach or something that, just really high up there, and smaller goals that you can build upon. So let's say you've never ran, or you want to run a 5K, and you've never ran anything over 1 mile in your life. One thing that we can try and do is, say you average about 2,000 steps a day. What you can do is you can try and maybe build that up to about 2,500 steps, maintain that for, let's say, a couple weeks, and then gradually ramp up, right? So momentum wins pretty much most of the time. It's one of the best ways that we maintain consistency and to trying to achieve our goals. So obviously it may be hard to program exercise for others, but that's why we have trainers. And sometimes if we, or say like we do our research or something like that, it can be just getting started, and finding a goal like that can be a phenomenal way to get yourself moving. Um, so this is kind of like the last bullet point that I have, or the last slide that I have, but there's a lot of information out there. Some generalized things that I encourage is to try your best to walk often. Now, this is something that I'm trying to do as well, but trying to walk often is a great way to implement more steps, get more cardio in, etc. Engaging in activities that you enjoy, because this is going to be one of the best drivers to consistency. And obviously there's more, but this is a great place to start. And one of the last things I'm going to leave this whole video with is finding an entry point to exercise. Start small and build, because personally, or as we are, we can adapt to a lot, especially with physical fitness kind of endeavors. We can adapt to a lot of things. Um, for some, it may be more beneficial to slow down on exercise. Now, this doesn't mean just stop, but what I'm saying is, let's say someone has just like a hardcore mentality. Now, sometimes that's definitely needed, but sometimes it takes more effort to pull the reins back on whatever they're trying, on whatever kind of how hard they're going at something. So sometimes it's beneficial to take one step back to take two steps forward, and that's perfectly fine. And this is going to help. This may help to keep things consistent. So, in conclusion, if you're going to take anything away from this video, some things to incorporate into 2025 that's going to help you with your physical fitness goals. Walking more, definitely a great way to implement more cardio and to get up cardiorespiratory fitness from wherever you are. But one of the biggest takeaways is finding your entry point to exercise, and to understand that exercise, number one, is not linear, but it's also just remembering why you started something in the first place, find that entry point, and then gradually building up. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I did making it. If you guys have a question, leave it in the comment section below, and I'll try my best to answer them. Outside of that, thank you guys for watching, and here's Getting Strong. Thank you.